Hey, Jay Allen from My TrueNORTH. Delighted to have you with us on the 24th of December. It's Christmas Eve already, and I'm thrilled to be here to be sharing with you the winners of our ADDAZERO podcast competition. If you're watching this live, then please drop a comment, hashtag live. If you're watching this in the replay, then please use hashtag replay. But today, in a couple of minutes' time, I'll be sharing with you the winners of our ADDAZERO podcast series 2 competition, as promised here on Christmas Eve. Now, just before I announce the winners, it's important to be able to give you just a little bit of a backstory with regards to what's led us to where we are today in this competition, before we announce the winners. So first of all, I first launched the ADDAZERO podcast in 2023. We did 50 episodes in the first series. I then took a short break, and on the 4th of December this year, we launched the start of ADDAZERO podcast series 2, which is going to see us through, certainly through 2025, through seasons 2. And as a launch competition, we dropped not just one, but two, but three different episodes, all at the same time on the 4th of December, and asked people to be able to listen intently to those three episodes and then email in the answers to three questions. And anyone and everyone that answered those three questions was entered into the competition to be able to win some prizes, which I'm about to launch and share with you the winners of. However, we also made it just a little bit more interesting and said, for every time that somebody is willing to be able to share a message about the podcast, either sharing an episode or a comment, or a positive emoticon or to be able to share it with somebody else, to invite somebody else to be able to listen, that we would add your name again into the competition. And I'm delighted that some people really went to town on that and invited several people for each episode that we've launched since the 4th. So on the three episodes on the 4th, and people were busy sharing those episodes, and every time that they did a share, for every time that they shared it with somebody else, we added their name back into as another opportunity to be able to win one of the prizes. And since then, we've been launching and dropping a new episode, which we'll continue to do throughout 2025 at midday every Wednesday. And since then, every Wednesday, we've launched a new episode, and some people have been kind enough to be able to continue that competition and share those episodes also. One of the things that you'll notice that we've upgraded from season 1 is season 1, it was just an audio and available across 13 different podcast broadcasting platforms. But this year we've upgraded, also making it a video podcast, a vlog, as opposed to just the audio, and therefore you can either watch it or you can listen to it, whichever your preference is. And I'm really delighted with the work that we're doing behind the scenes with Scott Dawson from Heartset Productions, who is doing a phenomenal job in being able to listen to my dorsal tones as I record the episodes, and then going through and doing all of the editing. So a big shout out to Scott. Delighted to have you on board and to serving us in the way that you do, and looking forward to a great relationship as we continue to launch an episode every single week, on a Wednesday at midday. However, I don't want to take up too much of your time here on Christmas Eve, but to say a sincerest of thanks to each and every one of the people that have made this year possible. 2024 has been an incredible year for My TrueNORTH and for the clients in which we serve. And I'm delighted on reflections to be able to look back at some of the distance and journeys that we've enabled people to be able to achieve over the last 12 months. And I'm only really excited about being able to know that we're going to be able to do that again and magnify it even more throughout 2025 with our brand new Pillars of Progress programme, which has launched in September and doing incredibly well at being able to support more businesses to be able to add a zero quickly to either their revenue or their bottom line or their personal disposable income. It's a delight to be able to continue to serve each and every one of you. And as you know, our mission is to be able to eradicate unemployment in this country by helping more conscientious employee business owners just like yourself either take on their first employee or to be able to grow their team. My goal is to be able to support each and every SME business owner that comes forward and is looking to be able to scale up their business, to be able to support them to build more and more and more demand for more new people into work than there are people out there actively seeking employment. At the moment, as of today, the stats from DWP suggest that there are about 750,000 that are people in the UK that are actively out there filling in CVs and looking for the next opportunity. And I want to support at least 1 million business owners to be able to grow sufficiently that we create demand for more new jobs. And we're doing that through the ADDAZERO podcast. We're doing it through a series of masterclasses and webinars. We're doing it through the people that we serve, either in group format or in one-to-one format, and collectively being able to share the message on podcast as a guest with others, and to be able to speak to large audiences at conferences and to share the information required in order to be able to make that transitional step. However, without further ado, let's get in and talk about the prizes and the competition. I'm grateful for each and every one person that completed the survey, that answered those 3 questions and emailed us in. And likewise for the many people that were willing to be able to either have a positive impact on us with social media, sharing the information with others, and increasing our listening capacity. In the last 4 weeks alone, we've seen a 37% increase in the amount of people now subscribed to watch the ADDAZERO or listen to the ADDAZERO podcast. And I'm grateful to each and every one person for each message that we've received over the last month or so. However, without further ado, I did say that I was going to be able to share the winners this evening with you live on this broadcast, and with a little bit of a surprise. So first of all, just a quick reminder, the runners-up prizes, if you were, number 3 and number 2, are both going to get a brand new set of Loop earbuds. Now, I was first introduced to these earlier in the year, and rather than being Bluetooth or connected to anything and this and the other, these little babies simply sit inside the ear and allow you to be able to have some form of quiet. They're called the Loop Quiet 2. I don't know if you can see in the corner just down there, it says Quiet 2. And these little babies sit inside the ear and just block out a lot of the background noise, while still allowing you to be able to hear very clearly in the immediate surround. They're brilliant for if you're at a networking event and you want to be able to listen specifically to the person in front of you, or if you're out for a meal and you want to be able to block out a lot of the background noise. But specifically for business owners, if you're working either in a shared workspace or you've got a busy office and you just want some concentration time, you drop these little things into your ears, and it's brilliant for being able to dumb down and quieten down all the background noise that allows us to be able to concentrate on the job in hand. And I'm delighted to say that James Ison, I first met James a few years ago now, and he's been on an incredible journey over the last few years, both within his business. And James, I'm thrilled to be able to say that I was grateful for, one, you entering the competition and correctly answering all three of the questions asked, but also being willing to be able to share the podcasts across your own network, which has seen 3 or 4 other people from your network specifically join the podcast subscription list. So I'm delighted to be able to say, James, congratulations. You are a winner of Loop 2, and will ensure that as soon as Christmas is out the way, that these are packaged up and mailed out to you. I'm not sure if they'll be coming to your Manchester address, or I know that you spend a lot of time in Portugal right now, and therefore as to whether they'll be mailed out and going international. So congratulations to James. The second runner-up, an actual current client of ours, was kind enough to be able to enter the competition. Almost lastminute.com, I received an email within the final hours before we closed, and he says, I sincerely hope this has not been too late. I've had so much to do that I keep meaning to be able to join the competition, and I've finally got rounds to it. Literally 2 or 3 hours before we closed the competition off. So I'm thrilled that Stephen Warner from Swift Trees has been able to also win a set of Loop Quiet 2. I know that you are moving your role right now from being a lot more operational and working in the business to making it a full-time commitment to be working on the business from January. But I also know that you work in a shared office along with another member of staff and a constant phone of inquiries, and therefore these little babies will be a phenomenal addition for when you need to be able to get your head down and to be able to concentrate on applying some of that pillars of progress that we're working through right now. So congratulations to Stephen. I'm thrilled to bits to be able to get these out to you, and like I say, once we've got Christmas out the way, we'll ensure that these get packaged up and mailed out to you with our gratitude and thanks. However, the first prize, if you like, the one that people have been working for, is towards these Shokz open fit air headphones. These are a phenomenal sound, true wireless earbuds. Secure fit, snug feel, balanced, natural sound, up to 28 hours of listening and a quick charge. I listened to these, not particularly these ones, they're still sealed in the pack, but I first was introduced to Shokz in the duty free at Manchester Airport, waiting to be able to fly out to Corfu earlier this year. And I was particularly taken with the quality of sound that came from something that's quite a small fit. It's not too oppressive over the ear, and yet the quality of the depth of sound between the really low bass and the incredible high treble was quite a takeaway with regards to the quality of workmanship that's gone into these little bad boys. So when I decided I was going to do the podcast and a competition, we went out and we purchased a pair for the lucky winner. And I'm thrilled to be able to share that a chap called Russell Green from Amplify is the proud owner of a pair of Shokz. Interestingly enough, Russell was a guest of mine on Series 1 and he's been an avid follower of the ADDAZERO podcast ever since. Russell, sincerest of grateful for one, not only completing the 3 questions correctly, you were one of the first to be able to respond, but also the amount of effort that you've gone into to be able to share each and every episode across not just one social media channel, but a series of different social media channels with a beautiful message for each and every one, encouraging other people within your own network to be able to come and listen also. I'm delighted to be able to say that we spanned the wheel a few minutes ago and your name came up as the winner of a set of Shokz headphones. So like I say, we'll get Christmas out the way, we'll get these packaged up and make sure they get sent across with my gratitude and thanks and wishing a speedy recovery. I know that you had a back injury just before Christmas. So there you go, they're the 3 main prizes. However, I did say that there was a bit of a surprise, and what I wanted to be able to do is I wanted to be able to show my extreme gratitude for each and every person that completed the 3 questions, entered the competition. I don't want any one of you to be able to go away empty-handed. After all, it is Christmas. So with my gratitude for your perseverance and for taking part and supporting us in being able to extend and increase the listenerhood or the listenership of the ADDAZERO podcast Series 2, I'd like to be able to gift each and every person who entered the competition a chance to be able to listen to the ADDAZERO book, my Establishing Basecamp, the first book in my series, The Ultimate Guide to Sustainable Scale, how to be able to establish Basecamp. For me, that is the fundamentals of being able to move from a growth business to a scale business, being able to look at what's already existing in your business and what's working well, and the missing bits that are probably either holding you back or the bottleneck that are preventing you from being able to move into that next that next scale phase. That book alone should be able, if you follow all the steps and you apply all the things within, should be able to take you to £500,000 revenue easily just by implementing all of the things that we talk about in the book. And I'd be delighted if I could send each and every one of you access to being able to listen to that on Audible as a gift from me to use to say sincerest of thanks for being able to take part in the competition. That's all from me for today, other than to say I wish each and every one of you an exceptional Merry Christmas and a happy, safe, and wealthy 2025. God bless, take care, and I'll see you in a few weeks.